ankle rolls. So this is going to be a really great way to get your lower body prepared for your workout, especially if you're doing anything high impact today, or if you're doing anything heavy strength related and you need to focus on balance. Basically, every workout, this is valuable, and you are more than welcome to add it in before you do any workout if it's not already in your warm-up, and especially if you're doing outdoor activities, if you're going for a run, if you're gonna hike a mountain, if you're about to go for a bike ride, you know you're gonna get lots of flexion and extension out of your ankles. We're gonna need to warm them up so that they're not suffering from the work we're gonna do. So we're gonna start off by working both feet together. So I like to just plant my hands on my knees, similar to knee circles, but I'm really focusing on my ankles. So keeping my heels planted and then getting full range of motion out of those knees as I come forward to really stretch out through the calves, down in through that Achilles tendon, down to the base of the heel. So I just do a few circles in each direction, 3 to 5, doesn't need to take forever. Start there so I can feel the outside of my calves waking up a little bit of tension there. So just feel it. Feel where it's a little uncomfortable, where it's a little juicy. Be in it, okay? Don't run away from it. Then we're gonna stand up and plant the big toe, and I want you to just get some ankle rolls in. Literally roll through your ankle. Now, remember that if you have injuries in your ankles, you have pins, you have plates, you might have some screws in there, it's gonna be a challenge. It's not gonna feel super comfortable. And recognize that everybody has their own range of motion and our own pain for your range of motion. Make sure you swap directions if you haven't done so already. So start to notice if in each direction how it feels. Does one side feel a little bit more comfortable? Does one side feel a little bit more awkward? What does it feel like in your body? Do you feel the tension in your ankle? Do you feel the tension in your calf? Right? And then other side. So the other thing to think about while you're here, I know, I have so much random things for you to consider. The other thing to think about though is your toes. What are your toes doing? Do you feel the tension through the top of your foot? Do you feel the tension in the arch of your foot? Can you widen through your toes so you get full range of motion out of that ankle? You can see that I'm starting to get into my hip a little bit here because it's all connected. From the tip toes, from your toenails, all the way up to your hair follicles, we're fully connected. There's no part of our body that is disconnected, really. Switching directions, remember we're gonna make sure both sides get nice equal work. So when I go out wide, I like to push into my pinky toe all the way through all the toes and then land back towards where you would imagine getting bunions. That's where I want you to focus on dropping in. You're gonna get a little bit more range of motion out of in front of your foot, leading into the back, okay? Now, once you've done that, we're gonna curl the toes underneath, push down to the ground, so I'll show you from the side so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Push into them. So you can see my legs start to straighten out a little bit. I'm putting more weight into the front, opening up through the front of the ankle. So a lot of times we don't really stretch out the top sides of our ankles, and then our shins take the brunt of it and our ankles take the brunt of it. So if you've had shin splints before, it might feel a little uncomfortable. Now you're gonna pulse it out. Whoo. Feel that stretch through the toes, all the way through the front of the foot, and then slowly release. Spread your toes like little monkey feet, and other side, same thing. So it's a good reminder that when you're here, I know that you're gonna be here with me the whole time, so keep going, we're not stopping yet. It's a good reminder that no part of our body is disconnected. Everything is one unit. So if you're struggling with something, pushing in through that foot, push as hard as you can to get that nice, as straight as your leg will go. Remember that your range of motion today is gonna be different than mine. Give yourself some grace, give myself some grace, breathe through it. But remember that if you're struggling with something, if you're like, man, my hips are hurting every time I do a squat, okay, look at the chain. The chain is from your ankles, your knees, your hip, your spine, your shoulders, your neck. What's going on in the whole chain of your body? Pulse out of that toe, hold on to it. Oh, there it is, yeah, okay. Beautiful. I like to get a few ankle rolls in right after I've done that so that I can come back to regular life. All right, we're just gonna walk it out on the outside. So push it to the outside of your ankle, pushing your weight into it. You should feel this pull potentially on the outside of your leg all the way down into that knee, down into your calf. And then same thing, and then you're gonna do the same leg, push into the inside of your foot and push into it. So this is something that feels a little bit unnatural to us, I find anyways, because this is something that if you did this as a kid, physiotherapy tried to correct on you, which is super valuable. We need to do that. But now we're trying to create a little bit more length from the inner thigh all the way down through that inside of your calf. So be mindful of your squats, other side. I'm gonna push to the outside of your foot, and I just pulse my hip out. So be mindful of yourself. If you're struggling, put your hand on a wall, it's all good. But I like to be mindful in my squat. If I'm struggling with something, the first place I look is my ankles. Your calves are gonna be a big aspect of your squat. Inside of your foot, same thing, we're gonna pulse it out, creating length of the inner thigh and inner calf. But if your calves are really tight, different parts of it, inside, outside, middle, your squats are gonna look a little funky. They're gonna feel different, and you're gonna feel the pull differently in your ankles. So there's a lot of stuff to think about, hence why I'm here to help you with all that stuff. But if you're curious as to what's going on with your body, curious as to what's going on with, let's just do 3 little ankle rolls now that they're prepped on each side. If you're curious as to what's going on with your movement, send me a video. I'm happy to help, because it's something as simple as fixing your tension in your calves and moving your ankles a little bit more that will make a difference. This is just me loving to move my body in a little bit different way and challenge my ankles now without my hands supporting to feel what this feels like in comparison to when I did it round 1. That is your ankle rolls, my friends. I know this is a long video. You don't have to watch it every time, but if you ever are wondering what you're missing in this practice, come back to this video. If you're ever curious as to how to fix some of the, not necessarily problematic issues, because that's not what it is, but some of the difficult areas in your lower body, come back to the ankle rolls practice and put it into play. Let's see, doing it every day for 2 weeks, how does that impact your squat, your deadlift, your ability to move up and down your stairs and go for a walk without discomfort?